Look out, Kathleen Kennedy, hey Daisy. It turns out that the Rey movie is looking a little hazy. A delay on the way yet again, and James Mangold leapfrogging in front of the supposed star of the sequel trilogy. It's all no fun at Lucasfilm, and today we'll tell you the latest right now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we, as ever, endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of that pesky culture curve so that you always know what's on the horizon. Helping us do so today, Jonas J. Campbell, investigative reporter for That Part Plays. Welcome back, sir.
So good to be here, and so good to see everyone in the trades is agreeing with what I said was going to happen.
Yes, it's almost as if you are a prognosticator of prognosticators. A Punxsutawney Jonas, if you will.
That's right. But I still have yet to see my shadow, so I think we have 3 more years of delays on the Rey movie.
Folks, as we get ready to... That's too good. As we get ready to dive in, it's not very often he actually catches me where I can't keep going. As we get ready to dive in, click that like button, and we want to preface this video by saying, Jonas, specifically and importantly, that we like Daisy Ridley. So I just want to make everybody out there aware, I like Daisy, you like Daisy. We are not opposed to Daisy. We think that the character of Rey, quote unquote Skywalker from the sequel trilogy, was poorly written, specifically after The Force Awakens. But Daisy Ridley herself, we like her. She's great. No problems. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah. She seems like a lovely person. She did a great job with a flat character. So
okay, yeah. Rumor, this out of thatpartplace.com by the magnificent John F. Trent. Folks, if you are not yet subscribed, bookmarked, and everything else to That Part Place, do so. But it says James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi Star Wars film could shoot next year, as Daisy Ridley claims her Rey film is evolving. You never want to hear that something is evolving when it is a pre-release film. I'll tell you that. All right, here's what it says. It is rumored that James Mangold's Star Wars film focused on the creation of the Jedi Order could begin shooting as early as next year. Because clearly, Lucasfilm and James Mangold, that's a duo made in the heavens. You can't get enough of Kathleen Kennedy and James Mangold. How'd that go last time, Jonas? Are they doing pretty good so far as a tag team?
I'm just going to speak to the numerical aspects of it. The Dial of Destiny did not make its money back and, might have been one of the biggest flops in history.
Oh, okay. So near or perhaps record-breaking flop. Got it. The rumor comes amid Daisy Ridley sharing that, quote, things are evolving, unquote, for her Rey film, which, by the way, was supposed to have been shooting 6 months ago. Screen Rant reports that Ridley provided an update on her Star Wars film during an early screening of her recent film, Magpie. She said, things are evolving. I continue to be very excited. There will be an update soon. Oh, okay. It's unclear what this means, but Ridley has commented throughout the year that she has not seen a script for the film, but chose to return as Rey after hearing a pitch from Kathleen Kennedy over breakfast. So, Jonas, they've got the scrambled eggs, they've got the grits, they've got the sausage patties, but they don't got no script. And they still apparently don't have a script because it's evolving. All right, Jonas, this is where you step in with your expertise. There's a reason that you have been predicting that this Rey movie was not going to go into production anytime soon. It has to do with the script writer. It has to do with some blinders, if you will. Tell the folks out there what you know.
Oh, that's right. Some Peaky Blinders. That's very clever. Stephen Knight is supposed to be writing the Rey movie. He's supposed to have been writing the Rey movie for a very long time. Before that, Damon Lindelof was supposed to be writing the Rey movie. And there's been this string of announcements. And I got to tell you what, Stephen Knight has been having a heck of a career renaissance. Apparently, he used to write for game shows. But Peaky Blinders, huge hit for Netflix, to the point now where they are making a Peaky Blinders film starring Cillian Murphy, and they keep adding stars to that Peaky Blinders film. And I have to assume they're rewriting it a little bit every time they get one of these big name actors to be in the Peaky Blinders film. It sounds like it's going to be a series of films. They're very ambitious with it. Stephen Knight is also setting up a studio in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, we have Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who is supposed to be the director of this film, famously put into the press as a person who likes to make men uncomfortable and inject activism into all of her films. She wasn't necessarily talking about the Ray movie when she said that, but she was talking about her career. So more issues seem to be coming up. And this seems like yet another instance where Kathleen Kennedy announces things in order to try to make them happen. But then there's someone who supersedes her and says, no, it's not going to work that way. Or they keep bringing out dishes and she keeps sending them back. And you're sitting there hungry, waiting for the date to begin.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because this is a pattern that has a finite timeline on it. What I mean by that is Kathleen Kennedy is 71 years old. We are now talking about next year, potentially, the James Mangold Star Wars movie going into production, which, by the way, folks, if you believe that, well, you've not been paying much attention to Lucasfilm and how they operate. So don't put much credence into that one. Even if James Mangold says it's going to happen, we don't believe it until it starts happening. And then, well, we'll believe something's on the way, like we did with The Acolyte. But despite the fact that it should never have gone into production, it did, and we acknowledged it when it started to happen that way. But what I would say, Jonas, is that if Mangold goes into production next year, that doesn't mean that Ray goes into production the year thereafter. No. You see, not only do we have Daisy Ridley now waiting for her prince to come, and that prince is finally scripts being printed for her, but we're also waiting on Dave Filoni to get a second movie out that's supposed to be part of this Mandalorian Thrawn trilogy of Dave Filoni's characters taking over what George characters once did in the EU. That's going to go into production at some point. So what I'm saying here is that if you look at the Ray movie and you say, at earliest, this now goes into production in 2026, that would then put that movie coming out in 2028. If you consider the CGI, all of the post that has to be done on it, we are now looking at a film that at earliest seems conceivable it could come out in 2028, and that's the earliest. It seems to me, Jonas, reasonable at this point that somebody above Kathleen may be trying to delay this and get it out of Kathleen Kennedy's career and therefore get it in the hands of someone else, and then they can be the bad guy or bad girl, discard it if necessary, restart it if needed, or pursue it if that's what they want to do. But I think that even just from a logical standpoint and a logistical standpoint, Kathleen Kennedy now very unlikely to preside over this film by the time it comes out. Fair?
I think that's very reasonable. We still don't know what Kathleen Kennedy does at Lucasfilm other than approve and not start production on film projects.
Speaking of which, Jonas, we have a video coming out tomorrow. We presume, folks, now breaking news can always shuffle the deck, but we presume that we have a video coming out tomorrow that is going to be an expose on something going on with Kathleen Kennedy. You definitely want to be here tomorrow to check that out. We're going to have it for you. Can't wait to bring it to your attention, and we want to thank our source that gave it to us. But Jonas, as we get ready to go, I guess, into the next stages of Lucasfilm and whatever it is they're going to do with Star Wars coming up, I got to say that everything's just flat out in disarray at this point. And you're exactly right when you point out that they trotted Daisy out on the stage because they needed an announcement. It's just too bad that's all they needed her for. They needed to say, this franchise is still here, we're still operating, but behind the scenes, nothing was operating. And this seems to be a frequent trend for Star Wars, for Lucasfilm, for Kathleen Kennedy. And at this point, it's reasonable to presume, I believe, that the John Williams documentary could be the last Lucasfilm film, which will have limited theatrical release coming up in just a few days, the last one that has Kathleen Kennedy's name on it. After this, she'll probably still be executive producer or whatever, but she won't be the head of Lucasfilm. Maybe Mandalorian Grogu, maybe not. Depends on when she exits. You got to think, with the results that she's having, Disney, they have to be eager for her to head out the door. Jonas, I'll give you final word on this one.
Well, I mean, you consider the quality of what they've actually been able to produce, and you wonder what is it that is not filmable about the things that are being struck down before they can actually put a camera on it. It's not like the things that they make are really that great. I mean, they look expensive. I'll say that. Especially looking at the television shows that make it out onto Disney Plus, the threshold seems to be very low. The Acolyte, I gotta say, I was really looking for something good in the Acolyte, and now the only effect it seems to have on the Star Wars canon is that when you go on Disney Plus, it's now listed first when you want to do a chronological rewatch on Disney Plus, which is, I'm gonna say, not putting your best foot forward.
Definitely not. You know what else is not putting your best foot forward? Having a Rey movie presented over breakfast as if, hey, we're a few days away from a Star Wars Celebration convention. Want some scrambled eggs and a pitch? Yeah, we need you on stage. Too bad there's no script. It's the same story over and over again with Kathleen Kennedy. I'll just say, Jonas, at that breakfast where Daisy Ridley and Kathleen Kennedy were there to make that agreement, it's not just the eggs that were scrambled. Folks, the schedule's scrambled too. All right, we've got to wrap it there. It's a short one for today, folks, but we've got more information coming all the rest of today. And of course, don't forget that the Pro Show is going to a 2-a-week schedule starting next week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern. And Jonas, that Park Place has a brand new show which will debut next week. Tell the folks out there when you'll be doing your thing.
That's right. 11 a.m. to 12 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. There'll be a new show called Morning Magic with me and Vash Sky. Morning Magic with That Park Place. Still working out all of the little words on the end of it here, but it's going to be a very news-focused show. We're going to be doing a tight 1 hour there of bringing you all the latest news. We figure going 2 hours twice a week allows us to be more current than 2 hours once a week.
You know what you should do, Jonas?
What's that?
You should call it the Magical Express. Disney used to have that, but I'm sure they've given up the copyright now, trademark and all. Surely, you would think. I mean, the buses aren't running, the airport's clear. Magical Express, that's what we call it. No, I kid. All right, folks, one thing I don't kid about. Consider clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below, let us know your thoughts. And if you do not yet have your Halloween or spooktacular costumes ready, run to Spirit today or wherever you're going to buy those items that will help you look like whatever it is you imagine coming up in the next week. But even more important than that, folks, you tell the kids out there who come to your door that WDW Pro reminded you to go get the candy. And then they'll know that you're dandy for watching the channel. Go get the chocolates. Don't give them dental floss. That's weird. All right, folks. Go check out That Park Place, the YouTube channel. Bookmark thatparkplace.com. And until the next time, we have the honor, the joy, and the pleasure of spending time with you. We wish you this as we say adieu. Keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.
I'm the ghost of Star Wars.
You know what would be a real treat this Halloween? Checking out WDW Pro. He's got all the sweet news on his Thursday live show at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Not to mention, his daily videos are a real treat.
Guys, I'm the ghost of Star Wars. Get it?
You know, we should go and make sure we're subscribed.
Guys, I'm the ghost of Star Wars.
And while we're at it, we'll ring that bell to make sure we're notified.
Great, let's go. Because, well, we actually care about that. Let's go.
Fact. Star Wars is not dead. It's haunting the staffs of Disney Plus.